Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I have a network update for you guys. I just wanted to briefly discuss and kind of tie it in with the title of this article, which I will leave in the description down below so you guys could check it out in its entirety. So the title of this article states Verizon's quest for 5G revenue. Why is that highlighted and why is that such a big issue? The reason it's a big issue for Verizon and its board and its investors is because their 5G build is very expensive. The build itself, I'm not even talking about the investments that were made in C-band and millimeter wave. The build, the network, the next generation network build that they are going through currently and they're trying to scale is expensive in itself. And the quest for 5G revenue is, it's immense. It's insanely important because they need to monetize this build because it's very expensive. It's state-of-the-art equipment, and it's going to make their network really good. It's going to make it a really, really good network. And here's what I mean by the network update. So in order to transition into a next generation network, you have to do a lot of things at the macro levels. So like I mentioned, and all carriers are doing this. It's not just Verizon. So if the baseband unit is outdated for Verizon, they have to go to that site and they have to modernize it to a single RAN infrastructure. And that's what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do with C-band. And that will, of course, be an ongoing modernization on a nationwide scale. Even in rural areas where they have sites, those sites are 9 times out of 10 going to be outdated with equipment. That's a fact. So that's something that they'll have to work through. Then the next piece of the next generation network was the one fiber build. That significantly is going to decrease their operations cost because they're rolling out their own fiber to the site. So they no longer need a middleman or a third party to rely on them to boost backhaul and have to pay them because it's going to be their own backhaul going to their macros. Now, this is the update that I received that was brought to my attention late last night. So the macros on a nationwide basis currently have routers, and those routers dictate the backhaul speed. And currently, more so on the nationwide scale, and I'm sure there are some sites now that have the newer routers, but the current routers at scale support mostly 1 gig backhaul. And with Verizon's One Fiber, they're looking to go beyond 1 gig. So the new routers that will be swapped out at the site can do up to 10 gig backhaul. And with Verizon's One Fiber, they can easily support that 10 gig backhaul because it's their own fiber. So that was essentially one thing as well that they added to the next gen build was the One Fiber. So it's all going to tie in to the next generation network. It's the macro modernization, the new panels, of course, the new radios. That's coming. That's most of you, I'm sure, are aware that in order to support CBRS, millimeter wave, and C-band, newer panels will have to be added to the small cells and the macros. I think that's self-explanatory. But there are other pieces to the puzzle that are needed to make this a next generation build. And that's where Verizon is investing a lot. They want to do it right, and they want to do it efficiently and effectively. So like I said, there's a single RAN structure at the baseband unit that's going to be built. That'll make their network much more futuristic, software, virtual. Then they go on the site, they change the routers to 10 gig. Then in some cases, they may even have to still bring that one fiber to those sites because they're not, they haven't 100% completed that project yet. They want to be at 50% of their grid on one fiber. So that'll still be an additional project that they have to pay for. So again, it's going to be a rough one over the next few years for Verizon to enjoy this ride, but once it's done, it's going to be beautiful. I'm telling you right now, once they have everything modernized, once they run their backhaul to their sites, and that's another thing that I want to speak on briefly. That was brought to my attention as well, and I think that's very important. So when T-Mobile says that some of their sites are being upgraded to 10 gig backhaul, that 10 gig backhaul is being used by the entire site. So your speeds can literally vary handing off on a different sector on that same site. Verizon is looking to add 10 gig backhaul per sector on the site. So every sector is going to get 10 gig backhaul. That's what Verizon is looking to do. And I noticed that on the millimeter wave small cells, every sector I get 3 gig speeds. It's not lopsided, it's not fluctuating, it's 3 gigs on every sector. From what I'm being told is the way it's kind of split up on the T-Mobile sites and sectors, it's 3.3 gigs per sector. And depending on usage, if one of the sectors has much higher usage, they can push more backhaul to that specific sector versus the others. So again, just keep that in mind. I just wanted to push out this brief update for Verizon. Revenue is going to be very important moving forward. They have to present it to the investors. They got to make money on this. They have to make money on this. You can't invest all this money, in C-band and then millimeter wave and not make money. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is to make money in business, and that's exactly what Verizon is going to be tasked with doing. They got to make profits. Fixed wireless is going to be a huge asset. They're saying that they're going to add a core specifically for fixed wireless home internet. That in itself is going to make it a much better experience. So that's telling me they not only want to get inside your living room with their product, but they also want you to stick around with the service. So they're going to put its own priority on the home internet, so there are less chances of you just leaving, because it'll likely be no contract. And if the services are bad or they get bad over time, people will just send it back and go with another provider. That's as cutthroat as home wireless gets. They'll just go down to the nearest UPS or FedEx store and they send this stuff back. That's how quick it can go. And Verizon, of course, is looking for that not to happen because they want that revenue and that profit intake. And with their network build being so expensive, I think properly doing it this way to where home internet has its own core, I think is the way to go about it. So again, let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading your comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.